So Krish, other reason to have you in the podcast
Yes.
is like a soul searching.
Yes. Yes.
I say all this. I go to a restaurant and then I say, hey, don't eat this much amount of biryani, split it into half. And then I say, don't eat parota. Parota is low fiber. If you keep on eating parota every day,
Yeah.
there's increases for pre-cancer, colon polyps, and all those things.
Yeah.
The first thing, the number one, they say, you need to change your friends' names. I don't know, come on, some North Indian friend. That's number one.
Saravana Kumar Singh.
Sing. So I came up with this Bengali Chakraborty. Sorry, Abhijit Chakraborty.
Okay.
Okay, because North Indian names will always have this some caste names associated with it at the end as a last name.
Yeah.
So I just said, okay, Abhijit Chakraborty sounds very generic. Then one of the comment was like, that is not North Indian, that is East Indian.
They're culturally, I mean, eating habits are closer to South than North. Yeah.
And the second comment I always get is that this is parota. What
Yes.
we have is paratha.
Yes.
Food expert.
Yes. So paratha is a Punjab, the North Indian sort of Gangetic Plains thing of again predominantly wheat growing historically. And historically wheat, India, we would take the entire grain of wheat and then put it through these two big stones. And the entire grain of wheat is ground into the floor, including the germ and bran and everything.
I see.
So it is generally higher fiber and so on, but also has a shorter shelf life. Right? Because the bran and the germ will have fat and things, which will go rancid over time, and so on, right? So historically, that is what they used to use, right? Once industrialization came about, we started using machines to remove the bran and the germ, right? Then we would grind the starch part, endosperm, and then this would also be ground, and then they would mix it back to make the atta. So therefore, now you could make atta with varying levels of fiber based on what the market wants. Oh my God. Right? And so, because wheat consumption in South India came much later, over time, and in fact, because at that point of time, because of the lack of preservation techniques and short shelf life and so on, the first category of wheat that kind of came to South India was maida only, right? Because it was seen as working class people. It does not spoil at all because it's only just the starchy endosperm, no fiber, and none of the bran and germ. So that's what was introduced during the World War around that time and so on. It became a thing that was supplied to working class people. So the parota that we know originally comes from Jaffna. So that is why Ceylon parota is actually the original, the OG parota is from Jaffna, where Malayalis and Tamil working class people who used to work in the tea plantations in Sri Lanka, they got used to that parota, which then brought it to Thoothukudi and to Tamil Nadu and to Kerala as well. So the first thing is that Malabar parota is not from Kerala. It's originally from Ceylon, and it reached Kerala in the 1960s.
Wow.
So they did not have it before that, right? And then, so therefore, as wheat became a little bit more popular, then other forms that were introduced were rava, right? You know, that is again, right? So semolina, right? And then as atta became popular around the time when people started to be more conscious about diabetes and obesity, India became wealthier and so on, that South Indian habit of eating chapati for dinner became a thing. That Punjab style atta was considered too fibrous and too much work. See, rice is just, we all eat biryani, and so you can eat so much so easily, it's hyper palatable, right? That atta is not, right? So most of the atta that you normally get here is relatively less on fiber than that, right? So in general, what I see is that the paratha is more of a traditional North Indian dish, but you have to look at it from the point of view of the fact that while it's made from atta, right, it is stuffed often with potato and many other things. If it's an aloo paratha, for example, right? And even if it is not a stuffed paratha, it is still layered, and each of the layer is separated by fat only. Okay, it is usually ghee. Okay, so it is a pretty high calorie, right? It is typical aloo paratha may have roughly, if not slightly more calories than a typical Malabar parota.
Correct.
In terms, it's actually bigger in size also. It'll be like some
Yeah,
huge.
exactly.
That it'll be one giant, like a
Yes.
12-inch pizza. It'll be right. So it is a.
Is there the same thing homemade as well?
They make it homemade. Yeah. And they may not make it that big
That
at
big,
home,
but
still.
but
No, they will still melt. In Punjab, I've seen they will order a parota, then they will order one Amul butter 100 grams packet.
Wow.
They will cut it into 4 pieces and melt it on the paratha, family of 4, and eat.
Wow.
That much butter.
That much butter.
Yeah. So I think you have to look at it through that context, right? So it is that as part of a larger overall healthy diet, they are all fine. I mean, they're all traditional. What's the point of food if you can't enjoy your traditional food? But to somehow say that, wow, that is very superior to Malabar parota. No, boss, if you're only eating a diet that is generally balanced and filled with parathas, not going to be healthy.
Right. So that's what I say in my videos as well. I mean, basically, I focus on moderation and decreasing the amount.
Correct. Yes.